So in this video, I will be addressing a myth, and it's the myth of grassroots support for Harris. So some common misconceptions, you'll hear them say grassroots, but it's not really grassroots. She was anointed by the elite before she ever got the funding, and her initial funding came through Biden. Then you have this big day where she got a lot of funding, but she was already like secure as the nominee at that particular point. Also, she was the most least liked vice president in history. Nobody liked her. So basically, the support behind her was that she wasn't Biden, not that she was a good candidate. Now enjoy the video and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, there's also like a lot of issue that people are having with them saying that it was grassroots for getting Kamala Harris the nomination. And people just don't buy that. Like they know it was just she was handed this. And the reason why she was handed this is
Wait, you
because
understand what they mean by grassroots? They're talking about the funding that she got after.
yeah,
Um,
they're tweaking the wording to make it sound like she had grassroots support
she
which led to
did.
her nomination. She was already nominated because Biden put her forth and no one
No,
else was
that
put out there.
she wasn't nominated until the DNC. That's when she was officially nominated. Biden threw his support behind her, but that doesn't mean that she was nominated
I
by
don't
that point.
I don't mean nominated as in she had the official stamp, like nominated to run for
Right. And so
president against Trump.
when they say that
Well,
she had grassroots support and that led to her nomination, they're talking about funding.
no, I'm saying that her when I'm saying when I use the term nominated, I mean nominated as far as being that person who should take over for Biden. When Biden gave her the thumbs up, I think that it actually caused some issues because Obama didn't want any candidate to get the thumbs up. Obama wanted it to be an actual like primary where they would actually like best
When
person
did he
wins.
say this?
When did Obama say that?
Yes.
I believe like shortly thereafter, like he said that
Find it for me, please.
released from either him saying it like on a video or him being released from his group or from people with him that he wanted it to be an open primary.
Okay, find me that quote, please. But
Let me.
again, when they say she had grassroots support, they're talking about the fundraising that she had. And that's absolutely true.
I have a reason to challenge that, but that's not why they say grassroots. They want to
Yes, it
pretend
is.
like the people. They want to pretend like the people actually wanted her to be their nominee.
Find me the wording then that you're finding contentious, because to me, having grassroots support is clearly fundraising. Grassroots support is fundraising.
It's gauged by fundraising and where that funding is coming from.
Okay, so this is okay. I'm pulling. This is from Politico. Are you fine with Politico, Jane?
Show it to me. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Are you fine with Politico?
It,
Yes.
Okay. So this, because the initial thing was the Clintons
oh
actually.
my God. Are you going to post it so I can read it, or are you going to read it to me?
No, I'm posting it now, but I'm still continuing to talk. The
Ugh.
Clintons, Obama wanted an open nominating process, and here's an article from Politico, which I believe is more left leaning. Because it starts off for anybody in the audience who can't read it.
Well, okay,
Former
so
President Barack Obama endorses an open Democratic primary process at the convention next month. Less than a half an hour later, former President Bill Clinton and endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris for president.
yeah, part of the, sure, I haven't gotten past that part because I'm driving, so I shouldn't be reading it to begin with. But the issue that a lot of people had with leaving it open until the convention is that some of the states would have already put out their ballots before the DNC was supposed to take place.
But all we're going at is you'll concede now that Obama did say he
No,
wanted an
because
open convention.
I haven't read it past that first paragraph. I'd like to read his actual statement. I'm driving, so I will read it when I get home. I'll be home in like 3 minutes.
Okay. Because when you read it, it says, I have extraordinary
Oh my
confidence that
God.
the leaders, I'm just reading it for the people in the chat, Jane. I have extraordinary confidence the leaders in our party will be able to create a process for which an outstanding nominee emerges, Obama said in a statement.
What is this about?
Well,
What
Jane,
about it?
Jane just wanted,
Create a wait, but create a process is not synonymous with have primaries.
no, I said an open process where they would they would literally make a nominee from that. They would literally
No,
pick
no, no.
somebody from
He
it.
says no. I've Where does it say? It says, I have an extraordinary confidence that leaders of the party will be able to create a process from which a nominee emerges. That's not the same thing as saying a primary.
No, they were literally talking about how they would put people together and what would be the mechanism to have them compete for who would be the best
That's
person.
not what that quote is. This is what
But
I said. I have to wait until I get home.
but the issue is that Joe Biden hadn't said Harris, and then the Clintons came, gave her the nudge, and that's why it took Obama so long to give his nudge, because he actually thought that it should have been a bit of a competition.
I don't see anywhere in here in this quote that he's calling for a primary. He just called for
Well,
a process from which outstanding nominee emerges.
well, it's a primary process, but it would just be an open convention. So it's just another term for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and
that's not a
that's
primary,
the
James. An open
no, no,
convention is not a primary.
Well,
no
it's a
one is
primary
setting
in
a
the
big.
sense that it's a
You
primary
said,
election for a candidate for the presidential
right,
election,
but
but it's
James said
just
Obama
mincing
called for
words.
primaries.
No, that's just stupid, Jane. I don't know why you even take that. No one's
I'm sorry,
claiming that.
Jane. I'm sorry.
No one's claiming, Jane, that Obama wanted to completely have the people vote again. No, it was all about the convention.
Well, what about the convention?
He wanted actual people to go there to give their case, and then the delegates would make a selection from that process, however they chose to put a candidate forward to compete with other candidates.
And if they already knew that the majority of delegates were already just going to back Harris, it just would have been a big waste of
Well,
time,
no,
right?
the thing is that once Biden said Harris, and then you have Clinton, well, you
Yep.
have all this support.
Yep.
Grassroots support.
That's not grassroots if the
Yes,
elitists pick the
it is.
candidate.
No, it's not. If they would have picked the
She
candidate,
did not get,
If
hang on,
nobody,
Jane,
if the
hang on,
elite,
hang on,
listen,
Jane.
no, listen, if
No,
the
no, no, Jane,
elite,
you're not paying attention.
if the Democrat elites would have picked someone and the people didn't like it, they still would not have put their money behind it.
Jane, hang on, hang on.
Just because Biden said this is the person, that doesn't mean that everyone's just going to start throwing money at them.
Jane, hang on. You're just uneducated in the process. Let me explain it to you.
I'm sorry, Jane, but it's just cute when
Before
he does that.
before she got to where she was going to be the nominee, and she had stated all this support before they actually went and did the nominee process. She had that. Then they switched the Biden campaign from Biden to Harris.
Uh
Then,
huh.
then they got all the donations and claimed that it was grassroots that led to her nomination. She was already had enough support from these delegates, from the higher ups. She was going to be the candidate. She just needed to go through the official process. Biden literally handed the keys of his group over,
Yep.
and then she got the donations, but the donations didn't start magically pouring in, and then the elites
And
started doing it.
That wasn't my
That's not how it
claim.
happened.
the
That was not my claim. My claim was you're saying that it doesn't count as grassroots because Biden threw his support behind her and then she got donations, and I'm telling you that just because Biden put his name behind her, and if we would not have liked her, we would not have given her money.
No,
That's what the grassroots is, people saying, "Yes, I like her. I'm going to give her money." And those were individual people, not some big, like, that's what the grassroots means, is that it was individual people. Something like 60% of the people who gave money in that first 3 days had never donated before.
so
And it was
the
like
issue,
$20
that's right,
donations. That's
Jane.
what grassroots
so
means.
That's right.
the issue, Jane, is that they tried to confuse, like, somehow she had all the support of the people, and then the elites coronated her.
No, they didn't.
But that's not what
Again, I
happened.
want to
They
see your
had
wording that you're contesting, because that wording saying she had grassroots support that led to her nomination is not misleading in any way. I don't know why you're contending that.
it is misleading because she already had enough delegate support pledged to her to be the nominee. And that's when Biden handed the keys of his campaign and
You
she took over the
understand that
offices.
if he would have died, she would have also gotten the keys. Correct? You're acting like this is some nefarious thing that he did.
Well,
She
there's
just was
another
vice
point though,
president.
Jane.
Actually,
Another point
I
is
don't
it
know that
doesn't matter
necessarily she
if
would
she
have.
had it doesn't matter if she had the support of the elites, as you called them, or from super PACs or anybody else. The point is she also had grassroots support almost immediately.
No,
That's the individual support, the, the the individual donations from you and me, maybe not you, maybe not me, but people like us. That's
no,
grassroots support.
no, the issue, JJ, is that people are confused and they think that the
Oh,
people causing
everybody
the
but James is confused.
no, there's literally confusion where they're trying to make people think that the overwhelming majority of individuals were
Show
all of
me
a
where they're
sudden.
doing this. Where's the wording that you're getting this from?
I actually have, like, and I can't pull it up now, but I have a video on my YouTube channel where I've got Chuck Schumer actually stating that as he's throwing his endorsement behind her. And this is well after she had already had the support of the Clintons. She had already announced that she had enough support from delegates that made that magic number that put her as the nominee. And
What does it?
all that happened before she ever got any money raised from anyone.
Well, I doubt that, but it's probably pretty close. But that's kind of irrelevant when you have Obama calling for his desire for an open convention, which is a primary like process. If it would just be a waste of time for them to do that if she already had that support.
Well, no, I'm saying that before Biden actually said, hey, gave her the nod, this is what Obama wanted. And I've got that quote that he wanted a process where they would look at different people, and whatever that process would be, they would come up with who their nominee is. Obama did not just want to pick it to Harris. And part of the reason is because Harris, up until this, was statistically the most least liked valued or vice presidential um, person in history. Like, her numbers were ridiculous. It's actually, like, I think that people will look back at this, political scholars, and see how you can build a candidate out of nothing. Like, no
James,
substance, no fact.
you realize Obama didn't say that until after Biden dropped out, Biden endorsed Harris, and the Clintons endorsed Harris. And after all of that, then Obama said he'd like to see an open convention.
No, I'm saying that he had this statement, which I got for Jane, but this is what they initially were hoping for, was an open convention.
The Obamas.
Yeah, which I think that the thing is that part of
They
the
said that
thought
after the fact.
so part of the thought process, JJ, is, and this is something that the
This
Republicans were
should be
worried
good.
about. Hold on. This is something the Republicans were worried about. Obama and Michelle Obama have like the highest likable rate out of any like political candidate. And so the worry was that they would actually like put Michelle Obama as the nominee. And I think that if they would have put Michelle Obama as the nominee
Who
through
was
that
worried
open
about that?
convention, I think you may see you
I
may
know
have
who is
seen
worried
like a
about that.
landslide.
Alex Jones.
I think you may have saw a landslide. I actually wouldn't surprise me. Let's say Kamala loses, if the next time around a Michelle Obama doesn't run, because I'll be honest, she's a fantastic speaker,
Yeah, she's a great lady. And you
really
know what she's
intelligent.
done? You know what she's done? At least since her husband left office, she's repeatedly said she has no desire to seek office.
Yeah, but she, when asked about making a Sherman statement, wouldn't make a Sherman statement.
Jesus.
So Hillary Clinton, when asked about running for president,
They were
said
afraid
numerous
that she really wasn't serious about not
said
wanting to seek office.
said
This is just
numerous.
ridiculous.
Hang on, Hillary Clinton said numerous times she would not. When asked if she was willing to make a Sherman statement, she was not. Michelle Obama has not made a Sherman statement. Now
I don't
there
think
were
that's relevant at all, but
now there was something that happened with the funding, JJ, that if it wouldn't have been Kamala,
Kamala.
then sorry, I'm so bad because so many people pronounce it differently. Even Biden pronounces her name differently. It, that they were so worried, and initially when they found out that there could be an issue with money coming in and money that was already raised, that Kamala would be the only one who could get access to this without returning it to the donors and them having to donate it back.
You could just get used to calling her Ms. Harris.
I could say that. That way people don't think that I'm like trying to like intentionally butcher her name.
And then soon enough, you can just call her Ms. President.
I think that like if she doesn't do any interviews, if she just avoids them and only does a couple of safe interviews, keeps any policy, like if you go to her page right now, I believe even still today, all you have is donation tabs, but you don't have like a policy page. And when you look at like her policies, some of the things that she's switching on are things that um, you would have if you were running as a moderate, but they're completely different than what she ran on before. Like now she's supposedly in favor of fracking, for example. And usually that's
Oh,
like
This
a
is
big,
the same tactic that Obama did when he was running. He kind of took this moderate conservative view, even praising like the Second Amendment, even the first time traditional marriage and stuff like that. And of course, then as soon as he got in the office, he showed his true colors. That's basically what Democrats really
well,
have to do.
well
They
let,
can't
let me
really run on policy.
let me say this though, Matt, about Barack Obama, because I actually passed out campaign signs for him. I actually like dug in. I think that he was a good man, and I think overall he was a good president. But I don't think Biden was a good president.
hot
Well, as
take.
far as Obama, I don't think he was nowhere near the president people thought he was, but he was a very good articulate speaker. But he did, I do remember, I mean, when you put him up against people like Romney and McCain, I mean, two lame uh, rhinos, it's not like the Republicans had much of a chance against him. Someone like Obama, who is an articulate speaker, stuff. But
Mhm.
Obama did have what he claimed to hold and what he actually held was two different things. I noticed that pretty
What
quick
is
after he
going
become
on?
president.
What's going
Well,
on
the
in
thing
this room?
is, that he did, like, for example, he was against same-sex marriage initially,
Trump
but then he did,
apologizes.
switch. But the thing is that a lot of candidates, a lot of people were against same-sex marriage and then swapped their position. But I don't think every time somebody swaps a position, it's because they're a hypocrite. But what I do worry is that people are actually buying that Kamala's not going to be a far left candidate.
Wait, you guys still talking about
Yeah,
politics? I
that's
see.
Yep.
Oh well. Yeah,
she's
Matt,
pretty
have you
much a
talked to
puppet on a string.
Matt? Have you talked to Shawnita?
Who?
Shawnita,
I don't even know who that is.
he's in the audience. Well, might be an interesting person to hear you talk with, but
Sounds like somebody Andrew thinks is a good
Yeah, that'd
interlocutor.
be Hey, save this replay too, because
interesting.
I think I want this political discussion up on my channel too,
Well,
Converse.
James, I will say that you've gotten quite the from the Clubhouse gang. You've gotten noticed with your political analysts and stuff. And I did want to ask you a question because in 2020 and before, you would have been pretty much more moderate, even left, kind of not really the positions you're having now. What do you think is to change over the last 4 years?
So honestly, I think I agreed with Trump's policies, but I wasn't as sold on, some of the comments he's made in the past and other things. I was leaning towards I may not even vote at all. But to be honest, Matt, when I saw him get shot,
Oh my
and him
goodness.
him him literally stand up, put his fist in the air, fight, and like that was it. Like I'm
Yeah,
like,
you knew that he loved America. As bad as he is, you knew that he had America was his most interest,
He
the
knew
American
he'd
people,
live another day to molest
and not
again. Great.
not kind of a sellout like the Democrats have
like
been
like
for
I
years.
never ever had a political bumper sticker on my car, even when I campaigned for Obama. Currently now my car's broken down in the driveway so no one can see it,
But you're
but
gonna get a Trump sticker.
I have a Trump sticker on the back of the car.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
That's big news there. That sounds like a
I will
commitment
say
if
I
I've
don't
ever
know that
heard
I'd
one
ever thought
before.
James would have had a Trump sticker
Hey,
after
do you guys
so that's pretty wild.
I
do you guys
actually have a
care if we
Trump.
move?
Oh
You
yeah,
guys
go
care if
ahead.
we stop? You guys care if we move away from politics?
Yeah,
I
go
wanted
ahead,
to go
Con.
back to the two souls of Jesus, but nobody wanted to talk about it.
Also, thank you, Converse and
That's
Sully, for
interesting.
allowing me to argue politics for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were listening in with you and Darth for a long, long time on Clubhouse today. That was kind of
Any new arguments, Matt?
uh, the main topic.
Thank you again for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Also, I will have a few more of these out soon. Once again, thank you, and I appreciate each and every single one of you. Until next time, take care of each other, guys.
Claim they like riding, but I know that they ain't. Ride or die. I go hard in the paint, yeah, homie, I'm a saint. Ride or die.